What would you do if a simple mistake deep underground turned into a life-threatening disaster? Imagine being miles inside a dark, icy cave surrounded by endless tunnels when suddenly an explosion blinds you. This is the harrowing true story of Randy Jackson and his team, who faced a nightmare in the depths of Swallowhole Cave. A routine task went horribly wrong, leaving Randy in agonizing pain and his friends racing against time to save him. What caused the explosion? Did they manage to escape? Let's explore and unravel the mystery in this video. We're going to provide you with well-researched information here. If you want to support us, well then please take a second to like and subscribe. This will both help and motivate us to bring more thrilling, valuable content to your fingertips. Don't miss this gripping story, folks. Hit that play button now. Welcome to Swallowhole Cave, one of the most fascinating natural wonders hidden beneath the surface of southern Indiana. This cave is part of a unique landscape known as karst, a term that comes from the Karso Plateau in Yugoslavia, where scientists first studied these special features. Karst landscapes are famous for their sinkholes, underground caves, and large springs that feed into streams. In Indiana, the karst region is divided into two main areas, the Mitchell Plain and the Crawford Upland. These areas are rich in limestone, a type of rock that dissolves over time to create incredible underground formations like caves, sinkholes, and disappearing streams. Swallowhole Cave is a perfect example of how water shapes the land. Rainwater seeps through the soil, picks up weak acids from plants, and then slowly dissolves the limestone bedrock. Over thousands of years, this process creates voids and cracks that grow into caves and other karst features. The cave itself was formed in limestone layers from the Middle Cretaceous period over 100 million years ago during the time of the dinosaurs. Now, while the exact details of its formation are still a mystery, we know that water played a huge role in carving out its passages and chambers. As you explore Swallowhole Cave, you'll notice just how unique and delicate this environment is. The cave is home to a variety of plants and animals that have adapted to life in complete darkness. From millipedes and scorpions to rare bats and birds, these creatures rely on the steady temperature, humidity, and food sources found inside the cave. Speaking of bats, Indiana's caves are critical habitats for federally endangered bat species. To protect them, the Hoosier National Forest closes caves like this one from September 1st to April 30th each year, as this is when bats hibernate and are most vulnerable. Now, one of the most striking features of Swallowhole Cave is its depth. The main shaft plunges 515 meters into the earth, making it a popular destination for cavers and extreme sports enthusiasts. Rappelling down the cave can take up to an hour, while climbing back out might take 2 hours or more. For base jumpers, the cave offers an adrenaline-pumping free-fall experience, as it takes nearly 10 seconds to reach the bottom from the entrance. But Swallowhole Cave isn't just about adventure. It's also a place of incredible natural beauty. At the cave's entrance, you'll see thick vegetation and a layer of guano, or bat droppings, that supports a unique ecosystem. Inside, the walls and floor are covered with debris, and narrow pits known as the crevice add to the cave's mysterious charm. If you're lucky, you might even witness the breathtaking sight of swifts flying in and out of the cave. Each evening, these birds circle the entrance before diving straight down into the darkness, a spectacle that has become a favorite among tourists. Southern Indiana is home to over 2,500 caves, and Swallowhole Cave is one of the most remarkable. It's not just a place for exploration and adventure, it's also a natural classroom. Scientists have published over 100 studies on the karst features in this area, and new species are still being discovered. Caves like this one remind us of the delicate balance between the surface and subsurface worlds, and just how important it is to protect these hidden treasures. Whether you're a caver, a nature lover, or just curious about the world beneath your feet, This cave has something extraordinary to offer. So with all that said, let's explore further. On November 3rd, 1979, 3 experienced cavers, Randy Jackson, age 22, Dave Black, and Dan Dybel, set out to explore and map the depths of Swallowhole Cave, located in the Hoosier National Forest of southern Indiana. This cave, known for its deep shafts and intricate passages, was a popular destination at the time for cavers seeking adventure and the thrill of discovery. The trio had been preparing for this expedition for weeks, gathering their gear, studying maps, discussing their route. They were excited to uncover new sections of the cave and add to the existing knowledge of this underground labyrinth. The day began with cool, crisp autumn weather outside. The trees in the forest were painted in shades of orange and yellow, and a light breeze carried the scent of fallen leaves. The cavers parked their vehicle near the cave entrance, unloaded their equipment, and double-checked their supplies. They carried carbide lamps, ropes, harnesses, maps, and enough food and water to last them through the long hours of the exploration. The excitement was palpable as they geared up, knowing that they were about to descend into a world that few people ever see. As Randy, Dave, and Dan stepped into the Swallowhole Cave, they immediately felt a big change in temperature. Outside, the air was cool and fresh, with the crisp feel of a fall day. But inside the cave, it was much colder, around 50 degrees Fahrenheit, or 10 degrees Celsius. The damp, earthy smell of the cave filled their noses, and the sound of water dripping from the ceiling echoed all around them. The walls of the cave were wet and slippery, and the floor was a messy mix of mud and loose rocks. The cavers moved slowly and carefully, their headlamps lighting the way and casting flickering shadows on the cave walls as they made their way through narrow passages and steep drops. For 7 hours, the group explored the cave, mapping its twists and turns. They were amazed by the natural beauty of this underground world. They crawled through tight spaces, climbed over large rocks, and rappelled down deep shafts. The cave was full of life. Not in the way you might think, but with the sounds of water dripping and the occasional flutter of bats flying by. Now, even though the physical challenges were tough, the cavers were in good spirits. They loved the thrill of discovering new parts of the cave and enjoyed the strong sense of teamwork and friendship that comes with such an adventure. Every step brought something new to see, and they felt lucky to experience the hidden wonders of the cave. However, their exciting adventure took a scary and dangerous turn during a routine break. The group had stopped to rest and refill their carbide lamps. Now, carbide lamps were a very common tool for cavers back then. These lamps worked by mixing calcium carbide with water in order to create a gas called acetylene, which produced light. Well, Randy Jackson was refilling his lamp when he noticed that something was wrong. As he lit the lamp, the bottom of it caught fire because of a gas leak. Thinking quickly, Randy blew out the flame. He thought that he might have accidentally dropped the gasket, a small rubber piece that seals the lamp, into his dump bag. A dump bag is a small bag that cavers use in order to collect used carbide. What happened next was sudden and terrifying. Randy opened up the dump bag to look for the gasket, and he shined his light inside. In a split second, there was a bright flash of flame as the acetylene gas in the bag mixed with the air and exploded. The explosion sent a sharp, burning pain through Randy's eyes. He immediately closed them, but the pain was unbearable. Even after keeping his eyes shut for several minutes, the burning sensation was so intense that he could barely move his eyes. It was clear that Randy was in serious trouble. His eyes were badly hurt, and he could hardly see. The group knew that they had to act fast in order to help him. The group quickly realized that they needed to get out of the cave as fast as they could. Randy's vision was severely impaired, and so the trip back to the surface would be long and tough. The cave was full of narrow passages, steep climbs, and dangerous pits. These challenges were hard enough for experienced cavers, but for Randy, who could barely see now, it would be even more difficult. Dave and Dan knew that they were going to have to act quickly in order to help their friend. They understood now that every second counted and that they needed to stay calm and focused in order to guide Randy safely out of the cave. The journey out of the cave was a terrifying and exhausting experience. Randy could only open one eye from time to time to see where he was going. He had to depend completely upon Dave and Dan to guide him. Without proper depth perception, every step was a struggle. At one point, they came to a 15-foot deep pit that they had to cross carefully. Randy found it very hard to judge the distance, but with Dave and Dan shouting directions and encouragement, he managed to make it across safely. The group kept moving, crawling through narrow tunnels and tight spaces. Randy had to move on his hands and knees, his face twisting in pain as he pushed through the discomfort. The last big challenge was the 40-foot entrance pit. Now, climbing out of this deep hole would have been tough under normal conditions, but for Randy, it felt almost impossible. His vision was blurry and his eyes were still burning badly. He had to trust Dave and Dan to guide him step by step. They anchored the rope securely, and they helped Randy fasten his harness, giving him the support he needed. As Randy began the slow and painful climb, Dave and Dan cheered him on, keeping his spirits up. It felt like forever, but finally, they made it out of the cave. They were completely exhausted, but also incredibly relieved to be back on the surface, safe and sound. Once they were out of the cave, the group didn't waste any time. They rushed Randy to Bloomington Hospital as quickly as possible. At the hospital, the doctors carefully examined Randy's eyes. They found a small piece of carbide stuck in his right eye, which had caused a 3-millimeter burn scar. The pain was unbearable, and Randy's vision was blurry and unclear because of the injury. The doctors worked to remove the carbide and treated his eye to prevent further damage. Over time, with proper care and treatment, Randy's eye began to heal. The pain slowly went away, and his vision started to improve. Eventually, his eye fully recovered, and the scar healed completely. Randy was very lucky to have such quick and skilled medical help, which was able to both save his vision and allow him to return to normal life. The story of Randy, Dave, and Dan's exploration of Swallowhole Cave serves as a very important reminder of the dangers that can arise even during routine tasks in caving. Acetylene gas, which is produced from spent carbide, can mix with air in closed spaces like dump bags, cave packs, or even the cave itself. And when this happens, it creates an explosive mixture. Now, while such explosions are usually small and don't cause much harm, they can still be very dangerous. In Randy's case, the explosion had serious consequences, leaving him with a painful eye injury and temporarily impaired vision while deep in a cave. This incident highlights the importance of being cautious and prepared when exploring caves. Even experienced cavers like Randy, Dave, and Dan can face unexpected dangers. It is crucial to handle equipment carefully, especially tools like carbide lamps, and to be aware of the risks involved. Proper training, teamwork, and quick thinking can make all of the difference in an emergency. Caving is an incredible adventure, but it does come with its own set of challenges and risks. Stories like this one remind us to respect the power of nature and to always prioritize safety. Whether you're a seasoned caver or just starting out, remember to stay alert, follow safety guidelines, and never underestimate the importance of preparation. By doing so, you can enjoy the wonders of the underground world while minimizing the risks. Stay safe, folks, and happy exploring out there. And if you enjoyed this video, well then don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more exploration content. Thanks for watching, and again, remember this, folks. The underground world is full of wonders, but it also demands respect. See you in the next video.